think of this. We ship this into an African village. There are 100 books on each laptop. Forget about computers interact, just think about books. Now, what most people don't consider is that when you send 100 laptops into a village, each one has 100 different books. So that's 10,000 books. You and I did not have 10,000 books in primary school, but African villages, remote places in Ethiopia, Afghanistan, and even Gaza have 10,000 books. That's a big change. And all this cloud computing stuff, fine for us, but forget it for all of the developing countries, at least the ones we're in. That's a long ways away. There are no clouds over Ethiopia, Rwanda, and Gaza. So we migrated, this is a couple of years ago, to something that was more book-like. This was short-lived. 2 years ago, we proposed it. We started working on it, but didn't. Instead, a little less than a year ago, we announced that we would move to a tablet. This was announced in December of last year, so whatever that is, 10 months ago. But the idea was, how could you make something that now could really be low cost? And one of the reasons it was a tablet is because paper books were going away. It's not that the tablet drives books out. It's the demise, if you will, of paper books driving tablets. It's the other way around. There is no way to justify a paper book. Those 10,000 books I just mentioned that go into a village, if you wanted to send physical books, I'd have to take every 747 out of service around the planet just to move them from wherever they're being manufactured. Physical books are a luxury. And in fact, they're not that good. I just had a very recent experience where I was flying and I had both the Wall Street Journal on my iPad and the physical Wall Street Journal of the same issue the same day. And during takeoff, you have to turn off your electronics. So I read the paper, and then during the flight, I read the iPad version. The iPad version was so much better. And books will be so much better, up to date, and on and on and on, light and inexpensive. So this is the slide that I will end on and leave on the screen while Wei Li and I are talking. And probably the most important thing is, how do you make tablets a constructionist medium? And by that I mean a medium where you make things, you don't just consume them. Because if it's about kids and learning, it's not just that you feed them like you feed a goose grain to make the foie gras. What you really need to do is you have to get kids to use it, to make, to communicate, whether it's music, whether it's text, whatever, it's write computer programs. So constructionism is very important. When I say use no power, which is on the list, I mean so low that if you run out of power, you just shake it a little bit. You do something else. It's not a matter of sort of being plugged into the wall. 16 by 9 is dead. If you're making a 16 by 9 tablet, you're making a big mistake. I don't know why Transflective hasn't taken off more. We're still the only tablet that is both a Kindle and an iPad. You can throw a switch, usable in the sun or usable at night, transmissive. I think that'll take off because of tablets in the next couple of years. And I want to end on design very quickly. I think back to the iPod when it came out, and then all the copycats. I think of the iPhone when it came out and all the copycats. It's amazing how nobody ever managed to do it. That design really does matter.